Hey, how's it going? Checking in with updates and progress for today. It's a bit of a funny one today. I've had a response back from one of my prospective clients. All systems go, no problem. Let's do it. Let's get it booked in for the end of April. Perfect, fine, all ready to go. So that was brilliant. And then about half an hour later, there was another email that came through from another prospect. This is somebody who I was only introduced to, I think last week, last Tuesday or Wednesday. So I haven't even been aware of this person for a week or this opportunity, and it came back as a no, a budget thing. It's just not going to fit. I think they're looking at doing a number. Well, I know they're looking at doing a number of different things across the week, and it just wasn't going to work to kind of have me and my fee. And I find this happens very rarely. Does somebody come back and say, we can't quite, we haven't got the budget for that. Here's the budget. Is there anything you can do? Nobody ever comes back and negotiates, which I guess is a good thing in some ways. But it's usually a yep, that's fine, or a no, sorry, it's not going to work. And that's what it was this time. But I found myself getting kind of feeling really disappointed. I think mentally I'd already, because I've been on a bit of a roll. I think mentally I'd already sort of booked that date in, thinking, yeah, that's going to happen. I've had the conversation, everything's going well, that's going to happen. But the reality is that actually I'm still going to get more rejections than approvals. It's just always going to be the case. I think anyway. I'm assuming that's the truth. Maybe it won't be at some point. People will be falling over themselves to work for me, but you kind of you raise your prices accordingly, and you kind of you set yourself and you establish that the fee level that you're comfortable with, or maybe it's just a little bit of a kind of just stretching on the outside of comfortable. And of course, if nobody's booking you at a particular fee level, then maybe you've gone in a little high. But if people are, then you're probably in at least the right ballpark. So you're going to get people who reject you. It's just because I haven't had that for a while now. I've got a couple who just haven't got back to me, so I feel like this was the biggest frustration, and has been for ever since the beginning of this. Just not hearing back from people. You have a conversation, it's going, and you put the quote in, the proposal, and it's like silence. But I'm fairly confident that I'll get something back from them, if just a sorry, it's not going to happen. But the funny thing was, I was literally just this morning writing in my journal about how actually things are going pretty well at the moment, but I've got to be careful because I don't want to, feeling really good, but I don't want to anchor my inner sense of happiness and contentment to external things. So if I'm getting, things are happening out there in the world, if I'm relying on that to be happy inside, then I don't want that. I want to enjoy it. I want to be able to experience all of that, but I don't want to have to rely on that. And I was writing about this in my journal, and about how I want to be able to separate myself from any of that. So if I'm putting stuff up on social media and I'm not getting any response, which happens quite a lot, or if I get rejected from a speaking gig, which happens and happened today, as I said, then I don't want it to affect how I feel. And so I was writing about that this morning. Then this happened. It came through at about 10 o'clock, I guess it must have been. And I did find myself feeling rejected. I found myself feeling disappointed, because it's like, well, great, that that's going to make April May, get May off to a really good start, and so it was the opposite of what I said I was going to do. But because I've been writing about it in my journal, here's the kicker: because I've been writing about it this morning, as soon as I noticed that it was happening, it was like this weight being lifted off my shoulders. And I reminded myself, like literally a week ago, I this wasn't on the radar. It wasn't a thing. I had no knowledge or thought of it. It didn't exist for me. I didn't even know, I've never even heard of the company. And then it came into my life, and it went out again. And so I haven't lost anything at all. And I had to remind myself that. And I went for a little walk for 10 minutes around the block, and came back with a fresh perspective and kind of re-grounded, re-centered. And this is the practical manifestation of me showing up in the way that I want to. Each day I write down the three things I want to do, how I want to show up: energized and engaged, focused and indistractable, calm and centered. And this initially was me not, well, I was staying calm, but I wasn't centered, I wasn't grounded. And so when I noticed what was happening, I was able to bring myself back. So that in itself was quite, I was quite excited about that, because it's one thing writing in a journal when you're feeling really good and positive and enthusiastic and motivated and things are going well, but it's another thing entirely to be able to maintain that sense, that inner sense of contentment and confidence and self, it's not, maybe it is self-esteem, I don't know, whatever it is, it's something that's kind of inside, to feel this balance regardless of whatever else is going, the good, the bad. I think there's a bit of Stoic philosophy kind of filtering through into this as well, but it was a good example today of how easy it is for those external factors to actually have that influence. So I'm feeling very zen now. I'm going to finish off the day there. Go and have a workout, cook some food, and do some reading this evening. But there's my check-in for the day. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and check back in again tomorrow for another daily update. Bye for now.